Hey everyone, it's Ali here from Ali CJ Cooks, and today we are making a tomato jam. Now normally jams and chutneys take a long time to make, so I thought it would be a good idea to make a single pot, a few servings if you will, with this quick and simple recipe that takes about 25 minutes probably from start to finish. So let's go. We're starting with a small red onion, which we're going to cut in half. Keep the root on because that'll hold it together whilst you're chopping and slicing. Remove all the outer layer, and then we're going to slice into the onion sort of lengthways if you like, and then cut into it from the side, and then again across the top, so you sort of cross-cutting all the way. And what that does is it enables you to end up with a really fine dice without too much chopping, which is quite handy. You don't have to chop at warp speed time. Keeping our fingers intact is, after all, really quite important. So once you've got your finely diced red onion sorted, push that to the one side, and then take a clove of garlic and whack it with the side of the blade and the heel of your hand, and that will make the skin of the garlic clove just fall away. So we're going to then chop that really finely. This one was really big, so I've cut it in half. I don't need all of that, and we're not a massively we don't have a huge amount of garlic in our cooking. So in a heavy based frying pan, I've got a little oil, light vegetable oil, and a little butter melted in, and I'm just adding in the onion and the garlic, and what I want that to do is just soften and just to sort of start to sizzle a little bit. I don't really want it to fry as such, just want it to soften, become translucent and a little bit transparent, and start to caramelize a bit on the bottom of the pan. Now I've got some other ingredients here which I'm going to use. I've got some smoked paprika, some coarse sea salt, some balsamic vinegar, and some agave syrup or nectar. So in with about a good heavy half teaspoon of paprika, probably about a teaspoon to be honest, and a grind of black pepper. So stir that in with the onions and the garlic and get that sort of cooking through. Give it about 30 seconds just to cook out a little bit. I've got 250 grams of cherry plum tomatoes or plum cherry tomatoes. Whack those in with a good pinch of sea salt and stir those around. Get everything really coated and start those cooking through. So those will start to break down. You'll see the sort of the flesh will become a little bit squishy and the skins of the tomatoes will start to split. I'm adding some agave nectar and some balsamic vinegar, about a tablespoon of each, and let that sort of sizzle away and start to, you can see it here, it starts to bubble. The sugars in the agave syrup or nectar start to caramelize a little bit, and there's obviously some natural sugars in the balsamic vinegar, and the smell here is just absolutely immense. It's incredible. You can imagine all of that. Mouth watering. Hubbly bubbling away with the paprika as well. It's fantastic. So that needs to start cooking down. The next thing we're going to add is some water. I've got about 200 millilitres here, just sort of an orange juice glass, just sort of a regular size glass. I haven't measured it specifically because really what I'm going to do is allow this to sizzle and to reduce. So lid on, say bye-bye, we'll see you a bit later. And you can see here that the liquids have started reducing and the tomatoes have really started breaking down, and you can sort of see that caramelization on the bottom of the pan. That's exactly what it's all got a bit steamy here, hasn't it? Don't worry about that. Waft it all away. So you can just see everything sort of coming together here. And the more that reduces, just keep checking on it, You know what this should look like. This is what it should look like. Once the liquids have reduced and the flavours have infused and the sugars have caramelised, which I think, that's really what we want. And all the sort of the vegetables, the tomatoes, the onions and the garlic have all nicely softened. And what you end up with is this. And call it a jam, call it a relish, call it a chutney, a pickle, whatever you like. I don't mind what you call it, but the flavours are immense. Now, you can add a little bit of chilli if you want, but this goes great with all sorts of things. Hot and cold, sticking on your sandwich, serve it on all sorts of things, and it's really delicious and scrummy and tangy. Let me know if you make it. #AliCJCooks so I can find you. Hope you enjoyed this cooking video. Please subscribe and please share, and see you next time.